Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more Zee World updates. So the last update about Twist of Fate. Rhea and Siddharth got married unintentionally to save themselves from the police. Let's continue from there. Sushma tells Abhi that Pragya never loved him. Abhi says that Pragya is staying with you since 2 years and you have kept her very well. Sushma says I am her mother. Abhi says and I am her husband. He asks him to ask someone about the meaning of husband. He asks Sushma not to interfere between husband and wife. Sushma says Pragya is very happy without wearing the wedding necklace and the vermilion of your name, and you shall understand that she is very happy. She walks away. The groom, Anish, and the bride, Pooja, tells that they wanted to help Siddharth and Rhea. Sid says that we are about to go, but Mansi Ji stops us. We were about to tell when we saw the police. Mansi says that they got married in good Mahuta and tells that now our kids will get married. Rhea says that she will change her clothes. She is about to fall. Prachi holds her. Siddharth asks Rhea to take Prachi's help, but Rhea refuses and goes. Siddharth asks Ranbir and says that he is married now. Pragya calls her business partner and talks to him. She asks him to come to the office in the morning. Her business partner thinks that she scolded me and I did not get angry. Why? He says she shouted at me as my boss and I get love for her. He says I will like you, Pragya. Sid tells Ranbir that they are good people. Anish and Pooja helped us and even their mercy. He asks Ranbir why is he silent. He says you think that she is not right for me. Ranbir says she did not show Rhea on video call. Siddharth asks, why did you leave Rhea? Ranbir asks if she forced you to marry her. Siddharth says no. He says he feels like Rhea is like Prachi's reflection. Ranbir says they are sisters. Siddharth is shocked and says that that is okay. He says that he wanted to marry Prachi's reflection and he got married to Rhea. Ranbir tells him about Pallavi's warning that she will throw him out if he doesn't marry with her choice. He says, I don't want mommy to throw you out of the house. You went against her. Siddharth says Pallavi auntie is sweet, but she will not forgive me. He says, shall I tell her that I love Rhea? Ranbir says that she knows that I love Prachi, but she did not forgive me. Siddharth says let's go home and asks Ranbir and Prachi to come with him. He requests him to come and says Prachi would undo everything. Sushma comes home. Pragya says why you came late as no meeting was scheduled. Sushma says she met Abhishek Mehra on the road. A flashback of their conversation is shown. Sushma says, I felt like I should have not talked to him. Pragya says he is very stubborn. When someone tries to make him understand, then he doesn't listen. She says Alia and Tanu told that they have property papers. Then what is that which Gautam gave us? Pragya recalls telling Abhi that he has headache. Pragya says party is going on in the house. Abhi asks her to do head massage and feels great. Then she massages him. He praises her and talks romantically. Pragya says you are in the romance mood. He says do the massage. We will romance later. A song plays in the background. Abhi says the party can go on without me, but not my life. I always need you. You are my life and lifeline. And asks her not to leave him. Pragya says if I don't see you smiling at once, then my day don't end. He holds her closer. The flashback ends. Pragya thinks that she was foolish to think that he would die without her, and he was very happy now. She thinks to make Abhi believe that she is not old Pragya. Abhi sits beside the boy and thinks of Sushma and Pragya's words. A song plays in the background. Abhi recalls the moment that he has spent with Pragya. Abhi asked God when he got habitual to drink, he sent Pragya. He says Pragya was an epitome of beauty, but she shows attitude to me. He says Pragya hates me and I don't know why. He coughs. Pragya comes there and offers him water. He says Pragya. It turns out to be his imagination, as the lady is someone else. Abhi returns the water bottle and says that he will drink water later. Pragya is still standing at the window and recalling Abhi's words. She cries and smiles, thinking Abhi used to calm her down in anger. Abhi drinks and thinks about Pragya. A song plays in the background. Abhi imagines Pragya and smiles. Rhea goes inside the room. Prachi goes behind her and gets emotional seeing her. Rhea looks at Prachi and takes off her earrings. Prachi thinks of Rhea's deal with her and then confronting her for romancing with Ranbir. She helps Rhea take off flowers from her head. Later, Ranbir asks Prachi what did Rhea say. Prachi says that she couldn't talk to her. She was uncomfortable. She says that she had thought to talk to her and sort out everything. He says that Rhea must have talked to you. Prachi says that she did not talk to her, saying her odd behavior, and says that she behaved as if they are strangers, and says that she did not show if she has any memories or not. Sid tells Rhea that Pallavi aunt will be very upset with me. He asks Rhea to tell him something. Sid says, I can't say that my family would accept you soon, and says give them some time. He says that he should have thought about Pallavi. Ranbir calls Sid and says that he got morning flight ticket. Sid tells Rhea that they are going in the morning. Pallavi opens the door and sees Ranbir and Prachi. She asks what are they doing there. Ranbir says that Sid and asks her to see herself. Sid and veiled Rhea comes there. Pallavi gets angry, recalling her words. Beji asks Sid, did you get married? Pallavi signs to Beji to stop and says sorry. You people came on the wrong address. Sid says, aunt, please. Pallavi asks him not to dare call her aunt. Sid asks her to understand. Pallavi asks, did you forget why we threw Ranbir out of the house? She says, we had told you when you came here. A flashback is shown. Vikram tells Sid that Ranbir is our blood, but he changed its colors. He says that I was like his friend, but he set his life alone. He says we gave her freedom to marry and liked her too, but that girl betrayed us and married him. Beji says that they have come here after their marriage. Pallavi asks her not to take Ranbir's side and says that he would have married with our choice. She tells Sid that he will stay there as their son and not as nephew. She says if they did mistake by trusting him, she asks if he will go against them. Sid asks Pallavi and promises her to marry with her choice. The flashback ends. Pallavi asks, did you ask us before marrying this girl? This girl was my choice. Did I like her? Ranbir says it is not Sid's mistake. Pallavi asks him to shut up and says you are justifying his mistakes. You are defending him as if he did the same mistake as you. She tells Sid that he cannot justify his act. Ranbir asks her to listen. Pallavi says I am standing at the same place as before, in a state of shock and completed betrayal. She says just this girl and boy are changed. Betrayer face is changed, but I am the same. She says she can forget their mistakes, but she cannot forget that betrayal. She says she has kicked them out as she doesn't want to see Prachi's face. She tells Prachi if she remembers what she said. A flashback is shown. Pallavi tells Prachi that she is not her daughter-in-law. The flashback ends. Pallavi says, I had told you to stay away from my son, but don't know what you did that he went to marry you, leaving his wedding altar. She says, what I felt you couldn't understand, as you are not a mother. She says you wanted to marry, haven't thought about us, about our home which will break. She says you married in a temple and have party and took blessings of people. She says we heard taunts from people for months, whom I used to tell that Ranbir was mama's boy, and some people thought that I am not a good mother. Pallavi says that they thought that I don't love Ranbir, but I know how much I love him. She says this is because of you, Prachi. You came and ruined my family and world in just one jag. She says she doesn't want to see her face as her face reminds her of everything. She says you changed my son before your marriage. Prachi says I never thought about this. Pallavi asks, didn't you think of how we will feel if you marry him? She says, I told you clearly that I don't like you. She asks, didn't I tell you? She says, this means that you think about just yourself and haven't thought about a mother because of whom Ranbir is born. She says, you didn't see that mother's 9 months and says, not just 9 months. I bear pain for many months. Doctor asked me to take care, but I used to take him in my lap and used to roam all day. Pallavi reminisces his birth and says that he was my life and happiness, my everything. She gets teary eyes and says you came and changed everything. She says I want you to become a mother and the same thing shall happen with you, which happens with me. She says your son shall leave you for someone else and then you would understand. Beji asks Pallavi to stop it and says that you shall not talk such things. Pallavi says why? She gave pain to me. She shall understand about my hatred for her. Prachi says sorry and says that she didn't do it intentionally. Ranbir says everyone knows that you don't like her and asks her not to say this. Pallavi asks then why did you bring her here? Sid says that I asked them to come here. Pallavi asks what did you think? That I will accept your bride if she asks me to. She says if you can't hug her son as she is in front of him and it doesn't seem to be like her son. Vikram comes there. Siddharth calls him uncle. Pallavi asks him to stop and says I will not change my decision, falling in emotions. Vikram asks Beji to stop Pallavi. Beji says okay and asks him to come to the room. Sid tries to speak. Pallavi asks him to stop and says either family members or the servant are part of the house now. Prachi says I can understand your pain as I am not a mother but a daughter of a mother. She says my 7 vows are not big than your 9 months. She says you think that I have snatched your son, but you have more right on him than me. She says he stays with me in another house, but his heart is here. She says you are staying away since 2 years, but he remembers you every day. She says Ranbir always remembers your food, Papa's coding and ACT. Prachi says if your pain is more than Ranbir's pain is not less. She says he is living two lives, with you in the past and with me in the present. She says we can make the future better and asks her to become the reason and forgive Ranbir and Sid. Pallavi says this cannot happen. Even if you talk sweet and show yourself as innocent and good values girl, but your image cannot change in front of me. Thank you for watching my video. Please don't forget to like it, share it, and please subscribe to my channel for more Zee World updates. Thank you.